There's one other thing that's phenomenal, spectacular, that's going on this week, which was pointed out by the Washington Post. Computer models are forecasting temperatures in the stratosphere above the North Pole to rise 60 degrees around February 15th, right around Wednesday, sometime between Tuesday and Friday. Sometime between that, this was issued February 9th. If that should happen, that many times, 70% of the time, that leads to a displacement of the polar vortex, which in this case would be bringing bitterly cold air into Europe. And the effects it has on North America is less clear, but many times it will also bring bitterly cold air into North America. Usually, in the Washington Post, it reports that these things happen, the domino effect. There's a domino effect, and it takes about 1 to 2 weeks before we actually feel its effects on the surface. However, in the past, I've noticed that it sometimes can be 3 or 4 weeks until we feel these effects. But the Washington Post reports 1 to 2 weeks. There's more confidence in Europe than North America. But that's something that could lead to a lot of excitement already by the middle. The excitement would be for Baltimore, Maryland, for the places on the East Coast, where we've seen no shortage at all of southern stream storms. That's not been the problem. We've had copious moisture, copious storms. Southern cities are breaking records this winter. The issue has been the Arctic air. Surprisingly, the Arctic air, which, although we had 2 phenomenally cold Arctic periods, in fact, Boston went from 10 below zero Saturday, February 4th, to a high of 51 degrees the very next day. We spoke about that. It actually happened. The high was 51. That itself is a record for the largest temperature rise within whatever period of time that was. Part of that probably had to do with the fact that there was no snow on the ground, which just makes the 10 degree below zero record even more amazing, that it happened without any snow on the ground, so minimal radiational cooling. The East Coast cities have a good chance of seeing some of these cities. All it takes is one storm to catch you up to normal. You know, Baltimore only, on average, only gets 19 point some inches of snow a year. So you get one nor'easter, you're already up at normal. So it doesn't take much. With these nor'easters, you get 1 or 2 of them, you're already up to normal for all of these East Coast cities. March, you get 1 or 2 nor'east storms. You have this it's called an SSW, a sudden stratosphere warming. It's expected to take place this week. More information will be known about it after it happens. There will be more knowledge about what its effects will be here in the U.S. The last time we had something this significant that happened was in 2021. It's been 2 years since a stratosphere warming of this significance has happened. It has not happened yet, but it's forecasted to happen. So we'll stay tuned to the exciting weather that's expected to continue, regardless of whether there's a sudden stratosphere warming or not. We have another storm on the week for next week. Enjoy, and I should have reiterated that there is a severe weather outbreak expected this week, possibly twice. You have been listening to the podcast Weather with Enthusiasm. This trailer was updated at the very end of January 2023. We have 2 things going on. We have evaporative cooling and we also have dynamic cooling, and the 2 are coming together to produce a major snowstorm in the deep south. The only time you could blame cold air on climate change is when it's a result of the stratosphere warming, which is what causes all the Arctic air to come down south. The way to get a 6-inch snowstorm here in the Midwest and in the Southern Plains has always been you need 3 ingredients. It's hard to believe the numbers that are being forecasted. Several additional feet of snow is expected by Monday morning. Hey, we have a special guest on our show. What is your name?
Katabis.
27.1 barometric pressure. Feet of snow are falling in Japan.
Oh my God.
That's a time of celebration.
Just Google weather with enthusiasm and they're all going to come up.